Alright guys, just enough to get past Western Suburbs. It wasn't great, but we did the job. That's the main thing. Just got Lautoka. We've beat them in the group stage. Churchill Park, we got familiar with that earlier this season. Let's just finish the job and put out a statement performance to just warn our rivals before we win this and also go to the Club World Cup. Surely we're going to go to the Club World Cup if we beat Lautoka.
Party in the streets and the city's on fire.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 130 of the New Zealand Builder Nation here on Shaun Does FM with both the All Whites and Cashmere Technical. I hope you're doing well, and coming up today it's the OFC Champions League final for 2037, a rematch from the group stage. We take on Lautoka back at Churchill Park, so if you're looking forward to that coming up in today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But yesterday probably got through the hard part of this year's Champions League, taking on Western Suburbs over 2 legs in the semis. So if you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. To be fair, wasn't the longest episode because both games were pretty scratchy from both teams, but thankfully picked up a 2-0 win in the second leg thanks to very early goals off the back of a scoreless one at my arena. So it wasn't the best performance, and to be fair, it's kind of continued in a couple of 7 league games that we've played since then. Does feel like at the moment we're just not quite at our best here at Cashmere Tech. A little bit concerning with a potential Club World Cup coming up later this year, which hopefully we'll be making our way to, because otherwise don't know what's going on. But we took on Parkland United, 3-1 win here. The goals all scored in the first half thanks to the Hotman de Villiers, Zoomers and Johnson. They pulled one back late there through Christian Bell, and just over a week before this final, we took on Nelson Suburbs. We won up early thanks to a youth player in Zach Morgan. Then they equalised through Finlayson, but then second half got acting the gear a little bit more thanks to a double to Michael James Gilbert, and Ezra Zoomers also chipping in with a goal against it. Thankfully, Zoomers back in the goals before this Champions League final. That could be quite useful, but it is taking us a little while to kick away in these games since we have taken on AS Magenta before we played those ones during the course of yesterday's episode. But hopefully Lautoka is a team that we can handle. Played them in our last game of the group stage earlier this week, picked up a 3-0 win. To be fair, it wasn't exactly an easy game for us. That one did take us a while to pick up a win there as well. As you can tell, a first half goal to Greenwich, backed up by ones in the second half to Castro and to Salcedo after Zoomers did miss a penalty. But stats-wise, definitely the better team in that game. Hopefully that will happen yet again and we can pick up the Champions League. Let's just check this before we actually say how many we have won in a row, and it would be for an 8th straight season, not quite 9. That would be happening next year, but surely with that record and the fact that Auckland City hadn't won it before 2023 and they went to the last Club World Cup, we should be going to the next one anyway, and especially if we pick up a win here. Otherwise, it would be kind of funny if Lautoka did go, but also probably not too great for Oceania as a whole. In terms of injuries coming in to this game, unfortunately, Wale Khalid's still out with that dislocated shoulder, 5 to 10 more days, but also Salcedo did get injured in yesterday's episode, pulled knee ligaments, and he is out for 1 more day. So it does mean that unfortunately we are quite weak at right wing going into this game. Thankfully, Tariq Nah was registered for this competition. Really, he's our only right wing option. So hopefully he'll last this game and these guys can come back off the back of that in time for that Club World Cup. Fingers crossed we actually go this time around. Otherwise, might be in for a move back to the A-League. It's not too sure how much longer I can wait for a trip to the Club World Cup with our record here at Cashmere Tech, but no bus trip needed. Did that before we played the group stage games earlier this week. So we'll get into the one game in today's episode, the Champions League final, as we take on Lautoka from Churchill Park. And here are the team sheets for this OFC Champions League final. First up, the home team here in Lautoka. They come to this one with a 4-3-3 in fair form. That might be because they're currently 5th in their domestic leagues. This should be a team we can beat, especially with that 3-0 win earlier this season. Hostler at centre-back, as well as now with the injuries we've got at right wing, and as well as that, we've got Corona in the ball winning midfield role for Louis Evans. That is because both him and Arce are on a heavy workload. This does feel like a game that we should be able to get through without those two at least. Hopefully that's the case. If it's not, we can bring them off the bench. But an early highlight here, we find Zuma's a great chance. He puts it away, and he was onside. So a hot start here in this Champions League final, to be fair. Quite similar to what we did in that second leg against Western Suburbs yesterday. Hopefully this time around we can keep it up and score a few more goals than we did. But Greenwich back out there to Diop and Zumas, who I think got that attack going there from just outside of the box. Takes that one away nicely. As I said before, this game has just started to refine some goal scoring form just onside and gives us a nice early 1-0 lead. And just show the 10-minute mark, next highlight in this game. It's a goal kick there to Lautoka. They win that one there, but thankfully Hosafa can tidy things up, and a ball over the top there. It will just about find Zumas. It eventually does. Couple of little trips on him there. He gets back on the ball, and a decent save there eventually by the Lautoka goalkeeper to keep that at 1-0. So a chance there to make it 2, but by the time that Zumas got on that ball, it was a bit of a tight angle. The corner we can't do anything from. Still 1-0 Cashmere. And we'll have to wait a little while for the next highlight in this game. It's actually in favour here of the home team in Lautoka. They put that one far post from a throw-in, and Robert Singh will head that one home. And our struggles continue here recently at Cashmere Tech, or demand more, because beefier stats-wise, Lautoka are definitely in this game, and now scoreline-wise, they most certainly are. That is a good run from Singh, just loses their Diop at the far post, nothing that Cifuentes can do, and they grab an equaliser, and stats-wise, you might have seen it briefly. It's a pretty even game, which is not great. Off the back of that, a corner here in our favour. Can't quite find anyone now. Clark plays that one all the way back out to Debenham on the left-hand side. Takes him the shot. Well saved there from the goalkeeper. Let's see if Na can do something. Not sure what that was supposed to be, a shot or a cross. Either way, not a good one. But there are the stats. Lautoka certainly keeping up with us in this game. And they've made it 1-1, albeit now there's a corner here in our favour. Anderson gets a header off, but unfortunately that one comes off the underside of the woodwork, albeit we are still on the attack. Diop plays that back to Clark, tries to find Debenham, but unfortunately that one gets cut out by Prakash. Let's see if Lautoka can do anything on that attack. They can't, but certainly being made to work for this so far. Another corner here in our favour. So the beefy most highlights are going our way, but still 1-1. Just not quite as clinical as we usually are, albeit as I say that, well worked move there. Debenham pulls that one back for Greenwich, who puts it away in the top right corner, and we're back in front here at Churchill Park, and hopefully now can just find one more goal to grab a cushion here before half-time with only 7 minutes left. That was well worked, and a nice finish there from Chris Greenwich to make it 2-1. And in fact, right off the back of that goal, there's a highlight, so we won't quite praise the guys yet or demand more. We'll see what happens from this highlight first, but Lautoka are back on the attack here, really for only the second time in this game. But a nice ball there over the top, and Bukash does get in behind, but thankfully no one home for them there, and Cifuentes can claim that one nicely for us in goal. So hopefully this might be another chance for us here before half-time, and as I said, hopefully can just grab one more goal, claim a buffer just before half-time. Debenham starts to make his way forward, picks out Tariq Na all over the top there. It's a well-played 1-2 for Ezra Zumas. Off the inside of the post, doesn't quite find its way into the back of the net, and right off the back of that, there's another highlight for us here. A corner, and Hosafa will also hit the woodwork. So a couple of times now, the woodwork has come to the rescue of Lautoka, starting to now get on the front foot like you'd expect us to in this game, but still 2-1. And just before halftime, one more highlight, and we'll get this ball back there through Tariq now. Let's hope he doesn't get injured. Otherwise, that's going to be quite interesting to see who plays right wing for us in this game. Thankfully, Salgado will be back the next day, but that ball rather fortunately does fall to Lorenzo Johnson, but his shot, it goes over the bar as he was looking there for that top left corner. So a fair few chances for us there to grab a buffer goal just before halftime. Unfortunately, didn't quite happen. We are dominating this game, but that chance Lautoka had, they did take there just past the halfway point of that first half, but thankfully an early goal to Zumas, and then about 10 minutes before halftime, Chris Greenwich, he put one away, so we're 2-1 in front. Don't think any changes needed just yet. Hopefully can kick away in the second half. And just shy of the 10-minute mark in the second half, we get the first highlight here, and thankfully we are on the attack here with a thrown inside of the final third. Debenham will find Tariq Na, pulls that one back nicely for Sam Clark, but again, that one does come off the woodwork, so to be fair, we've been a bit unlucky so far in this one, the amount of times that we have hit the post, but unfortunately just can't quite grab that goal to put this one to bed. Still 2-1. And a very similar looking highlight to the previous one here, 10 minutes later, it's a throw inside the final third, this time Debenham to Johnson and gets it back, plays it to Corona, looking for Clark. That one gets cut out, but they just pump that one deep, and Hosapa can tidy things up for us at the back, plays it out to Debenham, who just sizes up his man there down the right-hand side. Nice ball in there for Lorenzo Johnson, gets up like a salmon, but unfortunately just puts that one wide of that left-hand corner. So another good chance for us there. Still only 2-1, and now a free kick. And Zoomers goes down. It's a push in the back, so hopefully this is a chance for us to finally try and start to put this game to bed. Ezra will take this one, having scored nice and early in this game. Hopefully can put this penalty away. The keeper stays pretty much dead centre. He goes bottom left corner. As I said before this game, he's starting to find some form through the couple of domestic games we played before this one, and he's now on a hat-trick in this Champions League final. That makes it 3-1 with 20 minutes left, and hopefully that's the goal. Start putting our name on that trophy for an 8th straight season, and off the back of that, at the 72-minute mark, there's a throw for us here just inside of the opposition half. Chris Greenidge starts to make his way forward. Good little jink there. Squares it nicely for Zoomers on a hat-trick, but that's a pretty poor effort. And we're just going to go into the last 10 minutes of this game. Another highlight here in our favour, a throw, this time just inside of our own half. It doesn't take us too long here to get on the attack. Greenidge plays that one back to Diop down our left-hand side. Anderson now on the ball and plays it forward. The American in Corona out there to Tariq Nah, who's just taking his time on the ball. Eventually we'll find Debenham, does his man there for pace, picks out Lorenzo Johnson. Tight angle, not the greatest attempt at a shot there, but the goalkeeper is forced into a save. Let's see if we can do something from the set piece. Greenidge will take it. To be fair, all our players out there still on decent ratings and decent hearts, so I don't know if we need to make any subs in this game, but maybe these last couple of minutes we'll go attacking and just see if that might click us into gear. Maybe that's something we need to do more here against these teams in New Zealand and also in Oceania at Cashmere Tech, because otherwise we are just struggling to score goals a little bit. To be fair, as I said earlier, have been hitting the woodwork quite a bit in today's game, but still a couple of performances in a row now we have struggled to put teams away like we usually do. Maybe need to change things up here at Cashmere Tech before the Club World Cup, albeit off the back of going to an attacking mentality. Nice ball over the top there, it must have been from Sam Clark, and Chris Greenidge pumps that one away nicely into the top right corner, and that will definitely seal another Champions League title here at Cashmere Tech. Makes it 4-1. Greenidge, nice little run there, and first time finish with his left foot. That is a very nice goal, which should seal another Champions League title, and surely our place at the Club World Cup later this year, if that was not already booked. In the end, a pretty dominant display, but again did take us a little while off the back of Lautoka, grabbing an equaliser just past the halfway point of the first half. But Ezra Zoomers with a double, that second one from the penalty spot, really did put that game to bed, and the other goals did come through. Greenidge also got himself on a hat-trick with those 2 goals he picked up in both halves. Just 2 goal scorers for us there in that game, but thankfully we've just done enough there to beat Lautoka. The scoreline probably makes it look a bit more flattering than it actually was, but again, we are the OFC Champions League winners off the back of a 4-1 win. So we pick up yet another Champions League here at Cashmere Tech. That does now make it 8 in a row with that 4-1 win. As I said, it actually looks a bit more flattering than it felt like what I was watching during that game. Lots of chances to actually score more goals, a couple of shots which did come off the post, but thankfully we pick up the win, and hopefully either we find a new tactic before the Club World Cup, which hopefully we'll be going to now, or maybe just need to get these guys to gel a bit better because a few new faces in the team for this season, after some players left at the end of the last one, in the likes of Canary at centre back, and also potentially more importantly, C. Ardiello at left wing, albeit Chris Greenidge is doing a pretty good job there. You can see that's now 8 wins for us in the OFC Champions League, still a little bit behind Auckland City with the record of 12. Hopefully we get a chance to catch them before we do wrap up this save. Everyone quite happy with us. Chris Greenidge did pick up the man of the match. He definitely has done a decent job since coming in for C. Ardiello, and there is the athletics review of the OFC Champions League. Lautoka, the biggest overachievers, and this time it is Lotte Harpe United who are the team who were the biggest underachievers. And to be fair, most of the awards for this competition have gone to Western Suburbs players. They can feel a bit hard done by based on that. Did look like they were a bit more convincing in the games they played before that semi-final than us, but thankfully just found a way to get past them and that really was the key factor in picking up another OFC Champions League. And I'll just check when stuff starts to happen for that Club World Cup, because we'll see what we come back for in tomorrow's episode at the start of that, or maybe even the draw. And in 8 days' time, that is when it gets scheduled, and it does start in around about a month. So I think what we could do tomorrow is come back and just make sure we'll be going for that Club World Cup. Otherwise, might have some big decisions to make over the weekend if we get screwed out of a spot there yet again. But that will do it for today's episode, an 8th straight Champions League here with Cashmere Technical. If you enjoyed it, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. As I said, we'll come back tomorrow and see if we make our way to the Club World Cup. We should be. If there's a draw, whatnot, might do some team scouting, and also we could play a game around then. We'll just see what's scheduled. The Wellington Phoenix Fourths in the Chatham Cup or the Dunedin City Royals. So to be fair, not great games, but maybe we play one of those and do a bit of a deep dive looking into the Club World Cup, provided we are going and not another team from New Zealand for some silly reason. So until tomorrow, hopefully we'll find out who we're playing at the Club World Cup later this year. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.